Hello and good evening on this Wednesday. We are halfway through the week. Happy Hump Day. My name is Josh with Josh and Katie Schoenert here. And today we are going to talk about part 3 of networking tips. And before I get into the networking tips, I just wanted to give a quick reminder that we are using StreamYard to do our live right now. So if you can head on over and make sure you give StreamYard permission to see the stream or to see the comments. So then that way, when you do comment, we can see who's commenting and we can, respond accordingly. And then as well, if you are live, feel free to go ahead and throw a comment in there. Let me know who you are, where you're coming from, and we can give you a shout out on the live video. And then if you are coming in on the replay, feel free to do a hashtag replay on the video there. And then, we can follow up with you afterwards. And any questions or concerns or anything like that that go in there, feel free to put that in there. But anyways, we're going to get right to it. And what we've got going on today is, we do have the networking tips part 3. And with this, what we're going to talk about is just the final part of the networking tips and just kind of really bring it all together. And then I'm going to kind of, really go through everything and just give you an overview of what we've talked about before. And so first off, what we're going to do is the overview, and we're going to go back through. So in the first part of the networking tips, what we talked about was just as far as the getting started is your number one goal is adding value to people. Number 2, don't prejudge. Number 3, 2 categories of people. You have those that do and those that don't. Number 4 is consistency. Number 5, failure to failure without losing enthusiasm, which is really important. And then number 6 is don't let the victory get to your head. Just don't get egotistical. Don't get all, crazy happy that, things are going well and kind of slack off. Stay grounded, keep yourself at the level and keep moving forward. And then yesterday in networking tips part 2, what we talked about was just, asking questions about them, listening intently, making sure that they, that they feel like they're being heard instead of just talk, and go from there. Number 2, the golden rule, make sure that you are, really treating people how you want to be treated. Don't treat someone away just because you feel that that's how they want to be treated. Treat somebody how you'd like to be treated, because that's really going to show through. Number 3 is huddle play with your mentor. Just kind of talking conversations back and forth. It's really useful when you're talking to people over text messaging, messenger, things like that. Number 4, don't leave the conversation open. Finish it off with some sort of call to action or a question or something for them to think about. Maybe a follow-up, maybe it's another meeting, whatever it is, just don't leave it open and just walk away. Don't give them a way to think about whatever you're doing. Keep the engagement going. Number 5, situational awareness. Just be aware of what's going on and what you have happening, in the area. And then lastly, practice. So, getting into today, the networking tips for today. One of the things that I'm really passionate about, and these ones I think are the most important. The other ones, there's a lot of important ones there, but these ones I really want to just really touch on, and I'm going to try to keep it under 10 minutes, which has been my goal with these networking tips. But, for here, I think that I can do it. But number 1, focus on someone, not something. And you're going to see that number 1 and number 2 kind of go hand in hand. But by focusing on someone, not something, what I'm talking about is focus on who got you to where you are. Focus on, like maybe you talk about who you met, or maybe the family member that got you into your business, or maybe the, consultant that you talked to start your business. Whatever it may be, focus on someone. So then that way, when you're talking about something, you're edifying that person. And don't focus on something. Don't focus on, what your business is. Don't focus on your products. Don't focus on your opportunity. Focus on someone. And if anything, the best someone you can focus on is the person you're talking to. But a lot of times it's hard to do that because you aren't really edifying them because you don't know them very well. But once you get to know people, you'll start focusing on them as a someone instead of, people you're edifying. But so that kind of leads right into number 2 is don't go down the what road. Don't go down what it is that you do. Don't go down the name of your company. Don't go down all that kind of stuff. And I've made that mistake plenty of times in the past. I mean, over the last couple of years of actively building our business, there's plenty of times that I've said, oh, our business or this or our company or our products. And that kind of stuff just really leads people down to, well, what is it? What do you do? What's the company name? What's the pay going to be like? Whatever it is. So don't focus on, don't go down the what road, stay on the who road. Talk about who you're connected with. Talk about who has helped you with your journey. Talk about who you look up to, who your mentors are, who you met that, got you into this opportunity. Just stay on the who. And, that bleeds into number 3 is, share testimonies. Talk about people who whether you're in network marketing or you're in realty or you are selling insurance. I've sold insurance, and one of the best things was using customer testimonies. When I would follow up with a customer and they'd go, oh man, I can't believe that we just timed it right and we got this heart care, right at the right time, because man, like right after we got that policy, a month later, my husband had a heart attack. If it wasn't for that policy, we'd have gone bankrupt. That's a huge testimony. So let's say you're in network marketing, for example. Okay. So if you take network marketing, you can use a testimony in a great way. Is just find somebody on your team, ask them if they'd be willing to let you use a testimony when you're networking with people. 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. I know I will say yes to anybody. Take that person, ask them what their story is, ask them to give you just an excerpt of kind of what they've done, and then take that and turn it around and say, oh, hey, I met this person, they got me involved in business. I met this couple and, they told me their story and this is what it's all about. And it may go into how they've been super successful and built their business really, really fast. Or it may be about how they, maybe they didn't build their business all that fast, but they, through the mentorship and your opportunity, so you can say like through mentorship, they were able to get free from their, jobs, or through mentorship, they were able to pay off a bunch of debt, or through mentorship, the, mom, the wife was able to be a stay-at-home mom, whatever it may be. Keep on a who, edify leaders, and share testimonials. That's huge right there. And so, the first 3 kind of all tie together, but I wanted to separate them just so that way, like each thing is kind of different, but they all kind of go together. So keep that in mind. Number 4, keep it simple. Don't try to over explain. Don't try to go through. I know I suffer from the over explanation because there's a lot of stuff up here that I want to get out here. And so when I'm all up here kind of doing all this and I'm trying to get all this together and then I go like this, what happens is all this comes out jumbled. And so just keep it simple, real simple things. I'm going to go back to our story. And if I'm in passing and talking to somebody and I know that they're in a hurry, my story gets really short. I met a couple who were super wholesome. They talked to me about an opportunity that they had that they wanted to share with me. I met with leaders from the team. That leader ended up becoming my mentor because I saw the life that they lived and I wanted that life as well. And I wanted my wife to be able to be home with their kids and I wanted to be able to spend more time with our kids. So now, they've been teaching us how to do what they do. Done. Simple. Most people, that's going to go right over their head. But the way that we're doing things now is that story is in just kind of out there. And we have people going to that and looking at that story on their own. So people who resonate with that are coming to us instead of us having to go find those people like we used to before. But this is more talking about just general networking, whether you're on social media or whatever it is. That story, I do it in text, I do it in Messenger, and don't copy paste. type it out every time. If you're texting or you're on Messenger or whatever it is, don't copy paste your story, because if you copy paste, you will start forgetting parts of your story. And when you have to tell somebody on the phone, or you have to tell somebody in person when you're talking to them, maybe you're at the restaurant or whatever it is, and you just strike up conversation and you're talking to that person, if you haven't really written that out, you're not going to remember it. So constantly be practicing it, constantly, that goes back into yesterday, practice, constantly be doing that. So if you're messaging, type it out every time. Number 5, be real. Don't be fake. Don't sit back and try to, make up all these stories. Don't try to embellish anything. If you are really, really good at the logistics behind things, but your business hasn't grown that much, say it. Be honest, be real. You can say something like, yeah, we've been doing really well with, implementing all these strategies, and our business hasn't really gone as where we wanted it to, but we believe that that's going to happen in the next 3 to 6 months. We believe that their growth is going to happen in this XYZ timeframe. Don't sit back and say, oh, well, our business is growing rapidly. People are going to see through that. They're going to see right through that if you tell them that. But if somebody, if you're talking to somebody and they ask, well, how did it go for you? You know what? It's going well. We're implementing a lot of these strategies. We're having a lot of success with it. And while our team hasn't grown very big, we're doing this here. So even those that are brand new networkers, brand new people in your business, even like people who have never made a sale or never put somebody on their team, you can use that stuff to your advantage. You don't have to be this 6-figure top earner in your company to be able to bring people to you and attract people to you. You just have to be real. You just have to be honest and be credible to people. And sometimes credibility does come with the success, but in reality, credibility comes with honesty and integrity. And then lastly, I've said this before plenty of times, progression over perfection. Don't focus on making it perfect. Just do it. Just push through and get it out there as best you can. Don't sit around and say, well, I got to get my story right, and I got to do this and I got to do that. When we first started back in 2018 in our network marketing business, I did not have an embellished story. I did not have it fluid. I couldn't spit it off my tongue. I would tell people, man, I joined network marketing. And people go, what the heck is that? Got it. No problem. But if you are focusing on progression over perfection, you're going to have steps along the way where that's going to come through, and you're going to say, okay, I have my story, but it's not very good. Okay, I have the who part of my story is down, but the results isn't there. Well, I'm going to tweak that and move on. Now I have the who and kind of what I want, but the real result isn't there. I can't talk about that. So now I'm going to move on, and I'm going to go, okay, well, now I've got the who down, and it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, piece by piece, just make sure that you're doing that and progressing. Don't get stuck on, well, I don't have my who right, so I'm just going to wait until I have my who right. No, just do it. Just get out there and talk to people, whether you're attracting people to you using online methods, whether you're doing this traditionally, all of this works all across the board. So to recap real quick, I went a little long, so I apologize for those of you that like quicker videos. I'm going to try to shorten some of these down, but number 1, focus on someone, not something. Number 2, don't go down the what road. Number 3, share testimonials. Number 4, keep it simple. Number 5, be real. And number 6, progression over perfection. Don't be a perfectionist. So that's all for me tonight. I appreciate you being here with me. I appreciate you, being online and it's hopping on live. If you did get some value out of this, go ahead and put #value in there. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it as well. If you have anything to add, or maybe there's some struggles that you've been through and this kind of, helped you out and helped you have that aha moment, just throw something in the comments. Let me know what that did for you. And if you know somebody that is going to get value out of this, feel free to share this out to them. I'd love to see more and more people get help from what we're doing here. So my name's Josh, and that's all for me tonight. And I appreciate you, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.